Attention! Welcome to the Pathfinder Guru podcast, and thank you very much for joining us. In today's topic, we are going to talk about the Investiture Downfall. It is the time of the year. Clubs are panicking. Children are wondering whether they will make it to the investiture. Those who have started late with the progressive classes are trying to push and check how far they are. Today, I want us to talk about why clubs, they don't make it to investiture. What happens and how can we prevent it? It is June, and to those of you who have started late and are behind with some activities, some assignments, some requirements to do, fear not, you still have time. But now, what you do and how you do it is very much important so that you are able to reach that final destination, which is the investiture, the day that we are all looking forward to, a day where parents come and see their children and enjoy them as they get their awards, as they get their pins, their honors. And it is upon us as leaders to ensure that children reach this beautiful destination. Now, the question that you need to ask yourself when doing progressive classes, so that you do not reach a downfall, is that do parents know about the progressive classes? Are parents aware what is expected of their children? Sometimes we tell parents that we're starting with progressive classes and we're preparing for investiture, but do they really understand what are progressive classes? Do they understand how long do they take? What requirements do they have to do? And how long does it take for them to complete this program? I've always spoke about update parents and always make sure that parents understand, because once parents understand, things will be much more easier. When you go to the adventurer side of it, you understand that parents are very much important in ensuring that children complete activities, requirements, and everything that is given to them. But if they do not understand, how are they going to assist? Because they do not understand what are progressive classes. Hence, at the end of the year, they do not make it to investiture. The club as a whole do not make it to investiture because parents are not aware. Parents do not understand what is expected of them and what it is expected of their children throughout the progressive classes duration. Do children understand the outcome of the class? Sometimes we like to take children and just say, how old are you? Oh, you're 15, then you join this class. How old are you? And we just let them join without understanding. Yes, as much as we want them to do progressive classes and all those things, because they are part of the Pathfinder Club, they are members of the club, you need to also explain to them what is their outcome, what is their end goal, because children love to see, even if you do a video on the induction day, whereby you show them from previous investitures that you've been having. That way you are able to promote to them that it is possible, we can do this. They understand the outcome of the program. But if children don't understand the outcome of the program, and during the program or the duration of the program, you remind them now and again that this is our outcome. Let us not forget our goal. Let's not forget our destination. Then they lose sight, then they lose direction, and there is a problem, because once they don't understand the outcome, once they forget the outcome, doing a progressive class is quite tense because it's a 10-month program. But now and again, remind them that here is our outcome. This is what we are going to achieve. When we do our progressive classes, when we do the advanced class of it, this is what we are going to get. This is what we are gaining. And also, it becomes much more easier for them to look forward to the investiture and ensure that everything is running smoothly. Are you ready? Sometimes we are not ready as directors. We are not prepared in terms of how we run our progressive classes. Hence, when we reach the middle of the year, or when it's now closer or approaching assessments and everything, most children do not make it, or the whole club do not make it at all, because we are not ready, we are not prepared. But once you're prepared, once books are ready, once everything is sorted out, things become much more easier because as a director, as a committee, things have been prepared in advance. And once children join, it does not look like you don't know what you're doing, but it looks like you're professional, and children love that you are ready, you are prepared, and you are a leader that is focused and ensuring that everything is running well. Now, let's say you've answered those questions. You understand everything about the investiture. Parents know the outcome. Children understand what is expected of them. You are ready as a director and your committee. Now, let's look at things which may make you to fail and not reach investiture. Because there are things that if they are not in place, if they are not done correctly, then it becomes difficult for you to reach investiture. Number 1, you do not plan your curriculum. Understand that planning your curriculum is very much important. Because if you plan your curriculum well in advance, it becomes much more easier for you as a director to execute it. And even if there's something happening during the course of the year, you take note that we are having a camporee, we are having a Pathfinder fair. Those things may affect us in this time of the year or in this particular month. How can we push work so that when we reach the time where we are going to Pathfinder fair, it does not affect us? Because you understand, after Pathfinder fair, children are still fatigued and all those things. You put all those things into consideration. Hence, it is very much important to plan around your year plan of your local church and of your conference, because things become much more easier for you to ensure that you reach the investiture. But if you do not plan and you just start it from anywhere, any month, and you push the curriculum, you'll find out that you'll reach a problem and you will not be able to maneuver around the problem because you have not planned it well. For example, if you say in March, we're going to do this requirement and this requirement and that requirement, then something happens between the months that you're planning to achieve those requirements. You're able to move around things and ensure that you are able to cover the work. But if you're not planning the curriculum well in advance, then it becomes difficult for you to do so. Secondly, you do not check your work. Now, it is very much important for you to have internal assessment or self-assessments. It helps you to ensure and gauge how are you and where are you as a club. If you are wondering how you can do this, it is very much simple. You can switch with friend and guide. They switch books and they assess one another's books as teachers to understand how far their children are, because sometimes it becomes difficult for you as a teacher to check your own work. But if somebody else is holding you accountable, will be able to push you. And when you are able to see the other classes' work and how far they are, then it motivates you to push the work and ensure that you also are up to date, same as your other classes, your friend, your guide, or even taking it to adventure, switching it from adventure and Pathfinder teachers are switching. Hence, it is very much important for directors to work together, and also teachers and instructors that are helping the child to ensure that he or she reaches the investiture. Thirdly, you take time to confirm with your conference. Now, you may be pushing well. What makes us not to get invested consistently every year is because we take time to do our assessments and ensure how far we are. We start late the curriculum, which makes us a problem and difficult to confirm with the conference to say, we are ready for investiture, we are ready for the assessments. It becomes difficult for us to do so. You are now behind with your work, you're behind with schedule, you're trying to push, you're doing all the requirements fast, and there is no substance in that. And once you feel like you're ready, and now you want that investiture, then the conference is not able to assist at that particular time, because you have set it in your year plan that at November, in October, I want to have an investiture. But it cannot happen like that, because now you need to follow the procedure. And once now you request assistance from the conference, you find out that Other clubs have already booked. They have planned in advance. They have ensured that they reach their requirements in a well-timed way. So it is very much important for you to ensure that as much as you're planning your programs, how you're going to achieve those requirements, put in mind your Investiture date, work around it, ensure that when we reach this time of the year, when I say that I'm going to get invested, my club is going to get invested in November, in October, you ensure that you achieve your requirements in a well and time base. But if you do not put everything that I've spoken about in this episode, you will have a problem reaching the destination, because you might reach the destination but not enter. Meaning that you might complete your requirements, but because you are not planning properly and you're not doing things correctly, you might find out that you might get invested the following year because you took time to ensure that everything is done on time. May the good Lord be with us. May the good Lord bless us, so that when we are planning this ministry, when we are pushing the investiture, when we are starting our progressive classes, and this is the middle of the year, and I know some are halfway, some are now starting or quarterly there. But what you need to understand rather is that when you are planning it in a well and correct way, even if you're behind right now, it is very much possible to catch up. It's how you do it to catch up. So ensure that you plan correctly, you have the support from the parents, you have the understanding from your pathfinders and or adventurers. Things become much more easier for you to accomplish this goal that you want for your club, which is reaching the investiture. But for now, you are dismissed.